The Indiana Hoosiers have won the national championship. And I told you that this was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen after the way that they did Oregon, after the way that they have just found a way to win. This is a team of destiny. This Indiana team, this is one of those times in life where it does not matter who you were against. They could have been playing the 85 Bears today, and the Indiana Hoosiers would have won. This is what Kurt Cignetti has done is honestly one of the most impressive feats in probably college football history. To take the most losingest program in college football history and turn them into a not just a winner, but a dominating football team. And to take guys from James Madison, Navy, Texas State, and everything else. This has turned college football on its head because Miami, Ohio State, Oregon, all, when you look at the amount of NFL talent that those teams have on their rosters compared to little bitty old Indiana, you see the difference. You know what it is. This is it. This is improbable, and we got to talk about it all. We got to talk about how the game happened, who won it, who lost it, everything in between. Now, I have first of all, I do have to ask the question. You guys hop in the comments. I got Ralph here monitoring the chat, so y'all make sure that y'all give him hell. Make sure that y'all do, and of course, we will check all the receipts and everything else as it comes to this game. Let me make sure I got everything right, so we don't have any interruptions. Oh my God, I if you had told me, if you had told me in the preseason that Indiana would win the national championship, I would have told you that you had lost your cotton picking mind. I would have told you that that you needed to be checked for smoking crack. Like there's no way a team without a blue chip rating over 50% would win a national championship, and then also too that they would dominate teams the way that they have. Good God. So Indiana wins this game by 3 points. Was it 24, 27? I'm sorry, 6 points, 27-21. So Miami stayed within the spread. It was 8.5 for the majority of the time. That's where most people would have had to get it at. Oh my God. And you guys, make sure that you guys like, share, subscribe, tell a friend about the show, and most importantly, share because I am college football's honesty broker and I'm going to give it to you real. I'm going to give it to you raw and tell the truth. Okay. So, is this Miami team a top 5 team of all time? That's the question. But the hard part is when you watch this Indiana team, nothing about this Indiana team says that they should be able to do this. Their offense is not complicated. It's not. They don't do elaborate deep down the field plays. It is a RPO game. Take the low grass, take easy throws, and Miami was just giving them easy access throws all first half. But I am going to say this. Mario Cristobal is the reason why Miami lost this football game. He's also the reason why they were in this football game, but he is like he Caleb Williams this whole situation. He is a very good coach. However, everybody has a weakness, and Mario Cristobal's kryptonite is his physicality. Think think about this quote. I say it all the time. A man's strengths flow from the same well as his weaknesses. So Mario Cristobal's strength as a coach and recruiter and everything else is big physical players. Physicality, physicality, physicality. But that also works against him a lot of times. It works against Mario Cristobal when when he's trying to be so overly physical that then you end up in rock fights. And that's what happened in the first half. Miami, you saw that they could move the ball in the second half. In the first half, they're like, we're going to line up. We're just going to run you over. We're bigger. Every team that Indiana has played has showed you that does not work. And then you tried it early. It still didn't work. But then they kept going over and over and over and over again. It wasn't going to work today. You paid over $4 million for Carson Beck. Let him go out there and cook. But we also do know what the stats tell us. Carson Beck throwing over 30 times results in interceptions. It does. And how many times did he throw the ball today? 32. 32. One too many. And that was the situation. Miami ended up, because of that 57-yard run by Mark Fletcher, having a decent running day at 5.2 yards a carry. But you take that one carry away, their running game was absolutely stifled. They were averaging 1.7 yards per carry in the first half. This was not a way to win. And Carson Beck in a desperate situation, had they just let him play normal football, and remember, I've been saying this since the Texas A&M game. They protected him in the Texas A&M game. You can blame it on the wind, whatever the hell you want to. They protected him in the Ohio State game. He didn't even complete a pass past 10 yards in the game. And then against Ole Miss, he didn't even complete a pass beyond the line of scrimmage until the last drive. So what is the purpose in paying $4 million for a quarterback if that's what you're going to have him do? You can go find somebody else to go do that. So the question is, were they protecting Carson Beck, or is this just the way Mario Cristobal plays? And I have seen enough Mario Cristobal at them Ducks to know that this is what happens. You play close games, and a bounce of the ball, a bad drop, a one misread by the quarterback, and now you've lost the football game. You cannot be in rock fights at times that you should not be in rock fights. You shouldn't be. And you guys like, share, subscribe, get notifications, tell a friend. College football's honesty broker here, breaking it down for Indiana's first national championship. So now let's go back to the winners for a second. Because Indiana, this is a team that is legendary in the fact that they have knocked college football on its head because the idea that you have to have only 4 and 5 star players, it's gone. It's gone. No, you got to build a team of dogs, a team that will execute. And yes, the Jimmies and the Joes matter. If you give Kurt Cignetti 4 and 5 star guys, like his kind of guys, dude, they're going to be a problem, because now he can do different things, as opposed to he's playing with especially on offense, a limited skill set. The right tackle has been atrocious all year. He's been a fish all year. But it got exposed against Miami, and Mendoza was under pressure all night. And you got to give this kid all the credit in the world. People, is he the Heisman winner? He's the least deserving Heisman winner. Look at that game today. What does that look like to you? Does that look like a real Heisman performance? I bet you it does. That's what Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks do. What Fernando Mendoza did tonight. Yep. And Miami's special teams cost them 10 points tonight. Indiana was the team that made fewer mistakes. That's all it was. Blocked punt for a touchdown. And the numbers show. The numbers show. If you lose the turnover battle, you're going to lose football games. You got a punt block for a touchdown. So a special teams touchdown is like plus a bunch of points. And then the same thing for interceptions as well. And Indiana was +2 on the day. You're not beating Indiana +2. It's just not Andrew. It's just not happening. Not happening. But Mendoza is a dog. Now the question is Mendoza going to be a really good NFL quarterback? I don't know because this Indiana offense does not translate to the NFL. Not even a little bit. However, though, he is accurate. He makes good decisions, and those things typically work out for quarterbacks. They do. Um, Now let's dig deeper into the stats for a minute. Let's dig deeper. College football apostles is here. Let's dig deeper into these stats. So you got Carson Beck in the game, 19 for 32, 232, protection mode on him all day. Mark Fletcher Jr., 17 carries, 112 yards. That day is going to look a lot better than it really was. Let me pull out my handy dandy calculator because I'm talking and my mental math is not on really. It's not on point while I'm trying to uh 112 minus 57. You got 55 yards. Outside of that, on 16 carries. This Indiana run game, this Indiana rush defense is a problem. And here is the biggest issue for Miami. They can't really get anything going outside of Malachi Tony. 10 catches for 122 and a touchdown. The kid was a problem. He is a absolute problem. He is a savage. They call the kid baby Jesus. He is an elite college football player. And to be clear, Miami's rushing yards were 19 for 60 total rushing yards outside of that one rush and Carson Beck sacks. And you take his sacks out. That's what you got. Bro, this is incredible. Absolutely incredible work. And then on the Indiana side, look what you got. You got Fernando Mendoza today, 16 for 27. And Miami's you got to give Miami's defense a lot of credit because they put Fernando Mendoza in hell today. Mesidor, Bain, number 99, the Ahmad Moten, caused problems all night. But the issue is that that Indiana, and the crazy part is they made more mistakes today than they normally do. That jumping off sides at the end of the game, that could have cost them the game. The game was over at that point in time. It was over. And then you look at Indiana's passing. 5 catches for Omar Cooper Jr. Surratt had 3 catches. Charlie Baker had 4 catches. And Becker. And Charlie Becker was the difference in the game. He made, because Indiana could not drop back past the ball anymore because of the pressure. Man, oh man, and he showed up in a big, big way. But let's look at the team stats. You had, in terms of third downs, Indiana was, oh, hold up. Let me make it smaller so y'all can see. Indiana was 6 for 15. That's not a high percentage, but it's bigger than it was. Yep, bigger than it was. And on third down, Miami through the third quarter, I think was like 0 for 7, 0 for 8. And then they got going a little bit on third down. Man. Um, and I just got a text which was actually right. Indiana does a better job than Miami and Oregon of creativity on offense, creative ways to get their guys in space, and the quarterback understands what to do. 100% right. 100% right. And now here's the thing I'll tell you. I told you guys with the Indiana Oregon game, I said that was going to be the national championship game. That I believe that was the thing that was going to change everything. And you know what? I was wrong. I was wrong. I will admit that I was wrong because Miami's defense was a problem. Was a problem. Now, granted, Oregon's offensive line overall is better than Indiana's. And I know that people are gonna be like, what the hell? Yes, they are better than Indiana's because of the right tackle. Indiana's left tackle, that kid is all world. He's special. Their right tackle, fish. And they ended up having to switch the right tackle out. He didn't even fare no better. Mesidor and Bain were wrecking his absolute life. And when you think about it, like seeing this Indiana team play, we see so many coaches talk about connection. We see them talk about togetherness, team, one of one, all of this stuff. It matters. Like Kurt Cignetti has actually found the recipe this season. Now, mind you, can he do it again? We'll see. But now he's one of 4 active coaches to ever win a national championship. 4. That's it. Ryan Day, Dabo Swinney, Curt Cignetti, and Kirby Smart. That's it. So anybody else talking about their head coach and all that, oh man, this guy can't win the big game. Only 4 dudes have won the big game. Only 4. So give your coach a little bit of grace. Give Mario Cristobal some grace. Dan Lanning, Marcus Freeman, all of them. Give them some grace. There are times will come. And there's been a lot of talk about how old this Indiana team is. Their 22 starters have an average college experience of 4.3 years. 4.3 years. Now, on Miami side, they not a young football team. Their dudes average 4.1 years. So, but before we get back to the game, and I told you guys that I will go back because I told y'all Mario Cristobal, he messed this game up in the first half. And we'll talk about that. But I want to bring Ralph in because y'all been over here doing your darndest. Oh, excuse me, in these comments. So let's see what we got. Ralph. Oh, okay.
Ta-da!
Oh, there you go. What up? What up?
Man, can you believe it? Can you believe it?
I knew it was gonna happen after they dog walked Oregon 10 days ago.
All right, so initial fact check. We had Indiana going into the season and we told Indiana fans to brace for a step back. And that the new normal for them would be a bottom 8-win team. And because
we said
they
that?
were coached, we did. We picked them to finish 9th in the Big Ten as like an 8-win team that went 500 in conference in the Big Ten. I want to tell you what, George, to their credit, Indiana fans were your number 1 commenters on that video in real time. And they all said, you'll see. And you did. You became a believer over time. You called this win. You called the way that it'll go. I do want to run one thing by you before we get to the comments because Fernando Mendoza, he's making waves out here with his post-game speech. He said, George, I was a 2-star recruit coming out of high school.
Lies.
I got declined a walk-on offer to the University of Miami. Full circle moment here. I just give all the glory to God. So I want to get your reaction to, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know whether or not he was lying about where he was ranked as a quarterback, what his star rating was. But what is your reaction to Fernando Mendoza, who has been Mr. LinkedIn, Mr. Above It All, pulling out the final like twist of the knife, saying like I could have been here the whole time instead of just winning championships here.
I love it because when people don't believe that, like honestly, I don't know if we get this version of Fernando Mendoza if he gets to go to Miami out of high school. It was the grind. It was the fact that he barely got to Cal as a 3-star, which is what I believe he was. He barely got to Cal. And then Cal didn't believe in him. Fired Justin Wilcox. Didn't even believe in him to name him the starter coming in for this season. And then Kurt Cignetti running a soup kitchen for college football players, a rehab center, has rehabbed a, a, a little man in D'Angelo Pons, little 5'9" of him. He's a little pit bull terrier. He's, little Yo Quiero Taco Bell dude, just running around, just biting ankles. And ordinarily everybody knows, like, generally, I'm not like short king guy. Like, I'm out on short kings. I'm in on D'Angelo Pons because he got the heart of a lion in that little bitty body. I don't know if I don't think it's gonna work in the NFL that well, but he's a dog, absolute dog.
All right, are you ready for the Nando fact check?
Yep.
Okay, so he said he was a 2-star recruit. On 247, he was a 3-star. As you said, he was the number 134 ranked quarterback coming out of the class of 2022. On 247 Sports, he was ranked 10 spots behind John Mateer. And the next name that you might recognize is number 110, Maddox Madsen, who took Boise State to the college football playoff, paired with Ashton Genty last year. So what about Rivals? On Rivals, he was the number 128 ranked quarterback. They don't really rank 2-stars on Rivals. There were only 4 quarterbacks that were 3-stars that were ranked lower than him. He came in at number 128. He would recognize him as being in the neighborhood 12 spots behind Alonzo Barnett III, who I believe took James Madison to the college football playoff this year. So doesn't look like we're evaluating quarterbacks very well coming out of high school.
No.
But I will say this, George. Are you ready? The composite ranking overall for Fernando Mendoza coming out of high school, he was the 3rd highest ranked 2-star in the country.
Really?
So I guess technically, if you compile all of it and you hit the average, he technically was correct. So make sure you hashtag one of us. We'll get to your comments. We got a lot of people wanting you to say something positive about Miami's effort in this game. We'll start with @FreshFade. The Canes are going to be sick after watching this back. They should have won this game. So many mistakes. Do you believe that Miami actually had the opportunity to win this game and maybe lost it with some of their own mistakes?
Yes, Miami should have won this game. They were the more talented football team. This is Mario Cristobal's loss. Now, number one, they missed 10 points on special teams. They missed the kick, but it was a 50-yard kick. You can't guarantee those. I might not even give you that. But the block punt, I knew the block punt was coming after the first punt. After the punt previous to that, I was like, damn, they had a chance to block that. And then they got it the next time. They did it against Oregon with the exact same punt block. These dudes' effort is just incredible. But Miami, they lost this football game, and they lost it in the first half. Mario Cristobal sitting there trying to run over people. Like, let's go run them over. Let your quarterback cook. And mind you, and I just saw that comment, stop George, where was Miami without Mario? This does not mean that Mario Cristobal is a bad head coach. He's a very good head coach. However, the truth is, a man's strengths flow from the same well as his weaknesses. And his strength is physicality and just wanting to be, that, and just running people over, lining them up and all this stuff. But that's also a weakness at times. If your run game is being stopped, you got to throw it to open it up. And as soon as they let Carson Beck start throwing the football, your $4 million quarterback, why if you gonna spend $4 million on a quarterback to protect him all playoff, then you should go get a less expensive quarterback and spend some more money on some other spots. So, yes, Miami had every single opportunity to win. This game got lost in the first half.
So you put some blame on Mario Cristobal, but you have acknowledged they wouldn't be here without him. One of the things that you have always said, as long as you've had the Unafraid show, as long as you've done media, your strategy, you have a twofold strategy on coaching. One thing you like to refer to as manalytics, and the other thing is that fortune favors the
Aggressive. And
which team do you think was more aggressive tonight in their play calling?
it was Indiana. Indiana was aggressive as hell. You saw at the end of the game in that situation on that 4th and 5 that Mendoza scored on. Mario Cristobal would have kicked the field goal right there 100%. 100%. And Kurt Cignetti was like, no, this is ours. Fortune favors the aggressive in football. I don't make the rules. I just tell you guys what the rules are. You can't sit up here and play conservative ball and just think that you're gonna field goal Indiana to death. You can't. Miami waited too long to open it up. And then because they waited too long to open it up, now you put Carson Beck in a situation where Carson Beck then had to go try to be a hero throw. And he did what Carson Beck does. He throws a pick in a situation like that. And it's not a disparagement on the dude. It's just he's not a superhero quarterback. He is a guy, he's a Tua Tagovailoa. He's a guy, if you put him in a good spot, he'll distribute the football. Don't ask him to be a hero. And mind you, he was the hero against Ole Miss, but Ole Miss's defense wasn't worth a damn.
Okay, so we have a lot of comments in here, and again, just hashtag.
Hold on, I just saw one come in, and I want to put it up. Do you see it? Indiana Dynasty? Google it in 4 years. Settle down, Indiana fans. I know that you're new to having nice things around here. I know Indiana fans, you are new to having not nice things. You are not used to, winning. This is new to you. But winning national championships is hard, and it's never been harder than it is nowadays. It's never been harder. So let's pipe down a little bit with the dynasty talk. Let's just enjoy what we have in front of us. A 800,000 strong living alumni who has been craving this. They have never felt what it feels like to even hell. They've won more bowl. They just won 3 bowl games. 3 bowl games. When is the last time, Ralph, that Indiana won 3? Like, how far back do you have to go to get Indiana three bowl wins?
I do believe we're talking about maybe Dynasty was on television, not talking about Indiana Dynasty. We're talking about Indiana football was on one channel and the TV show Dynasty was on another channel. That's how far back you have to go.
Okay, so here's the thing: to get 3 Indiana bowl wins, and I kid you not, I'm actually. You know what? I'm gonna put it on the screen so nobody ever. This is why college football is honesty broker. Here we go. Indiana. Look, 3 bowl wins. 3 bowl wins here. Let's go. Let's see. Up. Yep. Okay, good. We got 1 bowl win in 1991. 91, we got a bowl win. Okay, it's cool. We got 2 bowl wins. The second one in 1988. You got to get back to 1979, Ralph. They won more bowl games in this playoff than they did since 1979.
I was wrong. Do you know what year Dynasty started on TV?
What?
1981. So you actually have to go back further than the TV show Dynasty to get to Indiana's third bowl win before this season. And how crazy is it that Penn State knocked them out of the college football playoff last year, and the 2 places that those programs are right now couldn't be further apart. Even more interesting, the number 1 quarterback in Fernando Mendoza's class was Drew Aller. So we're going to do a little blame game. Based on the comments, I see a lot of people assigning blame to different portions of Miami. We have one person that says, not Mario Cristobal, but Shannon Dawson, the offensive coordinator, deserves blame. Let's say we have a pie. It's worth 100%. George,
okay.
What percentage of the blame would you give to offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson?
10%.
Okay.
Because Mario Cristobal sets the tone. I've seen this. I have seen this out of him. So he keeps his thumb on the offense. This is why they've been through so many offensive coordinators and didn't even have an explosive offense until Cam Ward was like, "No, I'm not doing this. I'm doing what I want to do." Like so last year was different. And so that's why.
Okay, so another very, very popular unit to blame looks to be special teams. That a lot of people are saying online, they're saying, look, we scored 21 points in the second half, but that's a 7-point flip right there. We lost by 6. That punt block touchdown is what
Yes.
lost Miami the game. What percentage would you assign to the punt block touchdown?
Go 35, 40. 30.
Okay, so that's a big chunk. I want to
Yeah,
throw
that's a
in
big
my
chunk.
own.
But
I want to throw in my own.
see, but this is the problem with getting it. Like Miami is used to being able to win games like that. You have to be able to tear the cover off of people sometimes. In the college football playoff, Indiana had to win 2 close games. Miami had to win 4. It's easier to win 2 close games than it is 4 close games. Oh wait, no. Excuse me. Indiana had to win 1 close game because they ripped Alabama a new you know what, and then they kicked Oregon in the teeth after that, and then they came and so but let's give Miami's defense some credit, bro. This was a very very good performance to limit them as much as they did. But yeah, and to think that these are transfers from James Madison, Texas State, and Navy. And I talked about this in a video on Unafraid Show right now about the demise of the SEC. So if we're sitting here looking, right, and we got quarterbacks that the best running back in the SEC is from what was a Keywan Lacey. And where was he from, Ralph?
Keyone?
Yeah.
I don't know where Keyone was from. You got me
Okay.
on that one. You got me stumped.
Okay. Keywan Lacey. He was at Missouri last year.
That's
And
right. And
now,
Ahmad Hardy replaced him. Yeah.
yeah. And some of the best back. Oh, and Ahmad Hardy. Where was he from, Ralph?
Louisiana Monroe?
Oh, so maybe the best running back in the SEC. Oh, Louisiana Monroe. Okay. We got a quarterback who went furthest in the SEC was at Ferris State last year. We got some of the best players in the SEC coming from other conferences, but I thought the SEC was undefeatable. And this is what we are learning. This is why I say, people, we have to understand this is new college football brain. This ain't old college football brain. New college football brain says you put together a good quality group of individuals. And mind you, no, you can't take 3 stars out of high school and have this happen because of the transfer portal and all this. The closest that you were ever going to get to that was was Kyle Whittingham over there at Utah. Closest you're going to get. You can't build a team of 3-star guys out of high school. I know that everybody tries to pretend, Ralph, that this Indiana team, that they were just built they're just put together with sticks and straws and 2-star guys and their little engine that could. No. Indiana's probably gonna have at least 10 guys drafted. So you know
Oh,
what that
absolutely.
means? They started out as that, but they glowed up. They glowed up somewhere else. They got experience and then transferred in. And if you were to re-rank these teams right now, the amount of stars would be pretty close.
All right, I got 3 things for you, and I'll jump off for a minute. Number one, self-correction. Indiana did lose to Notre Dame last year, so I appreciate John U28RG for the correction on that one. Number two, the last one, I had a name to throw out for you. If we're playing the blame game, and I'm sorry to do this because I know you're a Southern California guy, what about our Washington State transfer defensive back, Ethan O'Connor, the man who didn't get called for pass interference on the final play of the Ole Miss game, decided that if they're not going to call it, he's going to hold every time. And the refs kind of kept their part of the agreement. Ethan O'Connor, he was the one in coverage on both of the fourth down back shoulders. He was the one in coverage who held twice on the same drive and wasn't called for it. He also made a lot of tackles, made a lot of plays tonight. But they are calling for his head on social media right now.
Are
How
you
much blame do you?
serious?
They are. They Ethan O'Connor, number 24 on Miami.
I know, no, dude. I know exactly who he is because he's a kid from here in Southern California. His and he went up to Washington State and then he transferred over to Miami. And you know who his uncle is?
Who is Ethan O'Connor's uncle?
And I'm going to, and mind you, I'm college football's honesty broker. I am friends with his uncle, Jason David, who used to play for the Colts, is his uncle. Okay. And I'm being as real as I can be. And I always try to be transparent. You can't blame Ethan for those catches. Bro, he was blanketed all over him. This is what Indiana does. I hold up. Let's pull up the footage. Let's pull up the footage. I'm gonna pull it up right now, Ralph, so everybody can do. And yes, people, I have already checked on Aaron Fentress. He is not well right now, and we're gonna make sure that he stays not well. Okay, because yeah, he was doing all that smiling and laughing when Oregon lost. Ha ha, buddy. Ha, take that. All right. Let's look at they couldn't hear me. You could hear me, Ralph. I was saying you can't blame Ethan O'Connor any more than you can blame these dudes, than you could blame the Oregon corners. How can you blame them? They are blanketed on them. They just made hero plays. They made plays that get you wins. That's it. That's the difference. Now I want to show you guys a couple other things because I thought that this play in the beginning of the game, I thought that this was a very, very physical football game. Very physical. And I wanted to point out this play here. Y'all, look at the running back here, okay? Look at the running back. Uh, Look at him be yank. That's the type of football game that we were watching today, bro. Absolute slobber knocker, bro. Just slobber knocker. Just knocked them. Just knocked them all the way down. But you got to give Fernando Mendoza all the credit in the world because when he got hit in the beginning of the game, that should have absolutely been pass interference. I'm sorry. Roughing the passer. This one here, I'm sorry, personal foul, excuse me. This play here. What are we doing? What are we doing? Dude, they are lucky. They are lucky that he was able to stay in the football game. They could have called. I wouldn't have liked the targeting call, but yeah, that was completely out of pocket. And you look at the toughness that Fernando Mendoza displayed. So for everybody questioning, is this dude the real Heisman Trophy winner and everything else? Yes, he is a dog on every single level. What are we doing? Like questioning if he is worthy? Yes, he's worthy. Worthy of everything. That touchdown run that he had, that's what it's made out of. That's what wins are made out of. But and I want to go back to this play that was in the second quarter when Miami was down 10-0. Mario Cristobal went for it on this play. And this was essentially what the game was. This was 4th and 1 with little under 4 minutes to go. This is what Miami was trying to do in the first half. Now, granted, the officials did not look at the spot, which they should have, but that was the first half. The way Miami was trying to play football, it was not going to work. But I got a bunch more points on this game. Is when somebody asked about the punt block, the only time that we could find where in the CFP or the BCS era in the national championship game where a punt got blocked for a touchdown, it was Florida State blocking a punt for a touchdown versus Virginia Tech in the 2000 Sugar Bowl, and they won that game 46-29. That's the only time that we could find. I will tell you though, I did not like Carson Beck's eyes through the third quarter. Nothing, and mind you, I have 2 quarterback sons, so I feel like a lot of times I can look in them quarterback eyes and I know what's going on in there. When I add what I know from my own sons, plus what I know from being around other quarterbacks, and myself as a former NFL player and college football's honesty broker and truth teller, I did not like Carson Beck's eyes. Nothing about that was inspiring that he was going to be a guy that was going to be able to save the team. I did not like it. But overall, I do believe that Miami was that Indiana was just more physical than Miami, particularly in the first half. They were more physical. Miami was trying. And remember, I told everybody, I was like, oh, Miami's going to run the ball on them. I was like, no, they're not. Miami is not as good of a running team as their perception is. Their physicality only got them 4.3 yards per carry on the season. That means against the bad teams and the good teams combined, you were at 4.3. Really good teams are over 5. Really good running teams. And they only ran the ball at 150 yards a game. So it was obvious that they weren't going to be able to run the ball. And Indiana made more mistakes today than they have made in a game in quite some time. Surratt dropped the ball on 3rd down. And Miami did an excellent job. They were like, you're not going to throw those back shoulder fades to Surratt. Prefontaine, no. He was like, no. He was, if they had ran a double move on him, but the problem is they couldn't run it because Indiana couldn't protect. Because Bain and Mesidor and 99 Ahmad, forgot his name, were a problem. They were living in the backfield. Fernando Mendoza has not been under fire, that much fire, not even in the Ohio State game. Miami finished the day with, how many sacks they finished with today? They finished with 3 sacks and 6 tackles for loss. Now, can somebody explain to me why Miami was not throwing the ball in the first half? Indiana could not get a pass rush. It was like a great wall of China sitting in front of Carson Beck, and they didn't even try to exploit it. They were like, we're going to run it on them. Man, sometimes you got to throw the ball to open up the run, and that's what they did in the second half. And as soon as they let Carson Beck, he ran around, found CJ Daniels for 25 yards on third down and long. He's capable, but you have made him incapable because of the way that they like to play ball. Yeah, and it was Ahmad Moten, number 99. I mean, Lord have mercy. Now let's talk about Kurt Cignetti for a minute. Because if you go back to his press conference at Big Ten Media Day a couple years ago, it was like he was foreshadowing. He was foreshadowing what was going to come. And you know that he didn't truly believe it in his heart, but he needed to make everybody else believe it. When he sat up there and said July 2024, when he sat up there and said them words, he said, "You don't bring your kids up, Johnny. I want you to be the fourth best. I want you to be the 10th best. BS. We want to be the best." And he did it. And he did it. And it's an incredible story. This is honestly, I was trying to figure out what this story is equated to. This is like the miracle in hockey. This is like, I don't even know what you would compare it to. Like, this is an improbable story. This has broken every single thing that we know about college football. And I'm gonna prove it again. Um, because the blue chip rankings, where if you, the blue chip ratio, there had never been a college football national champion that had a blue chip ranking under 50%. That means where at least 50% or better of your roster was 4 and 5 star recruits. And here is what we got. This is what we got. Ohio State 90 last year. Michigan, cheating Michigan. I'm not even going to count them, but they were at 54. Georgia, 78, 77 and 80. Alabama high. Like Clemson at 52. Florida State in 13 at 53. Indiana's not on this list. Look at the teams that were quote unquote eligible to win a national championship this year. Alabama tore the cover off of Alabama off of I'm sorry, Indiana tore the cover off of Alabama. They beat Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. They didn't play Georgia, but Georgia got knocked out by Ole Miss, who is, let's see if Ole Miss is on this list. Nope. LSU didn't make the playoff. Texas didn't make the playoff. Texas A&M got beat by Miami. Where's Miami? Miami on this list, 64%. So yes, the teams with a higher blue chip ranking are going to do well, but we have learned that there is a new way to build teams in college football. It is not just talented people. It is talented people, older people moving together. Look at the last 3 national champions. Indiana, old football team. Miami was an old football team too. Last year, Notre Dame was an older football team. Um, Ohio State. Well, I talk about them old football team. They're and they were mostly built in house. Michigan, the year before that, old football team. This is what we are getting, old football teams winning in this era of college football. So when you have a young team like Oregon had this year, you can't be sweating not winning a national championship. You just got to be like, okay, cool. We're moving in the right direction. Everything is okay. It's okay. Um yeah, and this was just like, where do we rank now Kurt Cignetti amongst the best coaches in college football. Where do you think he is? Kirby Smart is numero uno, first and foremost. Dabo is up there. Got to put Marcus Freeman up there, Dan Lanning up there, Mario Cristobal up there. Recruiting resources and everything else, because Curt Cignetti wouldn't be doing this without resources too. He's got Mark Cuban on his side. He's got and Mark Cuban said he's not even the biggest donor. When you have 800,000 living alumni, I'm telling you, Indiana is going to be a problem from here on out, at least for a while, because they got a formula. But the issue is this, and this is no different than when Chip Kelly was over there at Oregon running around people all over the place. People are going to figure out this Indiana defense, because as you saw today, it can be scored upon. You do need some dynamic athletes like Miami had with Malachi Tony, but you also need inventive play calling that's going to stress them. And Miami in the second half, Shannon Dawson, his play calls were very good. Very good. Let's bring Ralph back in now and see what we got before we get out of this joint. And you guys, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy, because hold on. Before we bring Ralph in, real quick, let's go through the receipts, because you guys have loved the receipts. So let's go through the comment section for the preview, because y'all have seemed to like that. And if you like it, just keep putting it in the comments. All right. So we had on the video, we had 292 comments. I don't know how many it was before the game. This game reminds me five days ago from a fresh fade. This game reminds me of Patriots Giants Super Bowl, potential greatest football team ever versus an underdog. As a Canes fan, I'm not nervous at all. I didn't expect the Canes to make the playoffs. Glad to see him here now. Okay, so he's probably not super sad. Yeah, Indiana people. Bradley Becker, go Hoosiers. Yep, it did result in a championship. I thought it was supposed to be Oregon. No, what happened? Shut up. I knew when you first started talking it was IU. Let's see. Miami played in their first national championship game in '83. Okay, nothing good there. Miami playoffs started week 1 when they had to beat Notre Dame for the last playoff spot. Man, okay. I mean, I don't know what we're supposed to do with that. He go against Miami every prediction, but we love being the underdog for sure. I mean, I don't believe Miami beats Ohio State if Ohio State doesn't have a bye, and I'm standing on that. I do believe that the byes have hurt teams in college football in the playoff, and that's why Kirby Smart, even though he's a 2-time national championship coach, was like, I don't want to buy team. But Indiana, it did not matter to them. They were a team of destiny. Oh, and I quoted something in the live, and I meant Villanova beating Georgetown in '85, 100%, where they shot a crazy percentage. Oh, I don't trust your opinion after that Oregon pick. I mean, Oregon lost to the national champion back-to-back years. Their only loss was to Indiana this year, and then to Ohio State last year. If the only games that you lose are versus the national champion and you beating up everybody else, one of these years you got to be the best team. Um. Here's a good one. Empty brain case. To everybody comparing IU football to these all-time Miami NFL upsets, please understand IU has never done anything in football where their situation is comparable to historic powerhouses you are referencing. This is entirely new territory for everybody who loves college football. I think we should embrace the chaos of this season. Speaking of the chaos of this season, is this college football season not the best that we have ever had? You have no idea who's going to win week after week after week after week. Um, will oh Oh, this must be a Miami fan. William Shard. We'll see. I'll be back. All right. I hope you come back. Yeah. So I'm gonna scroll through these comments and y'all can see if y'all getting up. Why is Oregon being attacked in this one? I'm gonna suggest a 46 to 49 to 6 win for Indiana. Listen, Indiana fans, they got a little carried away with this. A little bit carried away. 49 to 6. Stop it. I thought it was gonna be a blowout. I didn't expect no damn 49 to 6 though. Um, see what I'm gonna see. Oh yeah, yep, yeah. My Miami fans didn't really show up in the comments very much. Miami beat Mendoza at Cal last year, so let's bring Ralph back in, and then yeah, and then we will get out of here after that. What up, Ralph?
What up? That last comment you read, Miami beat Mendoza at Cal last year. That's two very different situations.
Yes, yes, he was with an offense who couldn't punch their way out of a paper bag.
Yeah, what people might not know about you is you've been watching Fernando Mendoza since he went in for Sam Jackson and Ben Finley. He was
Yep,
the third
at
string
in
quarterback. Yeah.
Eugene. Yep, and it was in that rain game in Eugene. So he's played against very good football teams when he was an underdog, and he didn't win any of them, but it prepared him.
Okay, so here is the major question, and I do want to read a couple of these comments. There's been some great ones. And this one is interesting because I know they want your reaction to it. It's from @Lux the Cat. It's Indiana winning one before Oregon that stings. How do you feel as an Oregon fan? Because I do want to bring up one thing. You are an Oregon fan and an Oregon alum, but people might not know this. Your primary agenda in being a college football content creator has been to spread hope. Not you personally, but to point out that hope is what makes college football float. So every single fan base on Twitter right now, as we speak, is saying if Indiana can do it,
Why not us?
so does that help put some salve on the sting from Indiana getting a natty before Oregon?
I gave that up when okay, so I mentioned that in the Texas Tech preview against Oregon. I was like, Texas Tech, you Johnny come lately, you don't get to jump the line. Okay? Oregon dispelled them. Indiana, you don't get to jump the line. Timeout. Did Indiana really jump the line? They're the most losing program of all time. Maybe they were just waiting their turn. And a broken clock is right twice a day, and it was their time to be right.
You ever at the shopping market and the lane open? You're the 50th person in line, and the lane to your right opens up.
Yes.
You go from 50th to first right away. Hey, sometimes the ball bounces your way. This is a very important question, George. We saw some people mention it in the chat, and you mentioned it at the start of the show, so I know you want to get to it. 16 wins, a Heisman, leading the country in touchdown passes, leading the country in yards per attempt, 8 touchdowns, no interceptions in the college football playoff, Big Ten champion, Big Ten offensive player of the year, 4th and 5, gutsy rushing touchdown in your hometown against the team that wouldn't even take you for free. Where does Fernando Mendoza rank? Number one, as a college football player, and number
Mm.
two, as a college football story. Is one higher than the other?
Okay. College football story. Oh, this is what documentaries and movies are made out of. The question is, who will play Fernando Mendoza in this movie? Indiana is going to milk this until it cannot be milked anymore, as they should. Man, but this season, this is like Cam Newton like award season. You know what I mean? Like Cam Newton's season was better. And the other thing that people haven't factored into like the stats is the clock rules have changed. So there are significantly less possessions in games than there used to be. So numbers are nerfed a little bit. But when you add in all the accolades, oh, this is one of the most impressive seasons. And when you look at moments, yes, he had Heisman moments in the Big Ten championship, which that solidified my vote for Fernando Mendoza. It and then in the playoff, same thing, excellence. And then in the natty, when you needed him to be great, 4th and 5, he could have went down, spin move. He was like, I'm not gonna then the dive in the end zone, get hit in the back. He had the bloody lip. What he had a Kurt Schilling moment, except for he didn't do it himself. It wasn't faked. It was a real bloody sock moment.
You're talking
I
to
bet
somebody
you
who
didn't
literally.
expect a Kurt Schilling stray in here.
I literally have a Curt Schilling action figure behind me right now. Do you see it over my shoulder?
Yes.
That's I have a Curt Schilling Arizona Diamondbacks 2001 World Series. I did not expect. I thought maybe you were taking a shot at me. Uh, how will Carson Beck be remembered?
He probably won't be.
Wow.
I mean,
Well,
no, no,
do you say
and
that
I
because
don't mean that
do you
in
say that because did Miami give Carson Beck a chance to be remembered?
no, no, no. He was a to quote Evelyn Lozada. I bet you didn't expect a Evelyn Lozada reference here. He was a non-motherfucking factor in the Texas A&M game and in the Ohio State game too. He was a factor in the Ole Miss game. Like he had the moment, like ran it in. Today, he could have been the hero. Didn't. He was a 1-year mercenary. So my Miami fans, he didn't do anything special enough for you to remember. It wasn't like they went undefeated this year and he put up like Cam Ward will be remembered in Miami more than Carson Beck will. And he went to the national championship. And you will have Georgia fans won't really care about Carson Beck either. And that sucks because he was 24-3 at Georgia and he was what 12 and 13 and no 14-2 no 13-3 at Miami this year.
One of the winningest college quarterbacks of all time, if wins are a stat.
Yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
somebody said 4 interceptions against Louisville, maybe. Well, shit, there should have been 5 because they dropped one.
Who is more likely to get back to this point in this game first? Indiana or
Ooh,
Miami?
that is a great question. All right. Wait, who's gonna win? So back to the title or win a title first?
To even reach, we'll call it semis. Which school will be the first to re-reach the college football playoff semifinals?
I'm gonna go with Indiana. Wait, actually, no. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with yes, yeah. I am gonna go with Indiana because I think that they have a better chance of getting a bye again next year. I think that this was a magical ending to the Miami season. I just don't trust Mario Cristobal to like open up the offense and let them go just play free and score the way that they did with Cam Ward last year. Like they have so much talent at every single position, but then versus SMU versus Louisville, you get so caught up trying to out physical people, and they even played some other closer games that shouldn't have been close. And they pull away late, and they shouldn't have to do that.
Who has more of a right to feel some type of way? James Madison fans, Cal fans.
Why should James Madison fans feel any type of way? Like Kurt, they knew when Curt Cignetti was winning that he's leaving. It's James Madison. They like that he's gonna leave to go to a big time school when he wins. Cal should feel some type of way because you just been looking at football purgatory for the last 10, 12 years.
So you do not believe that James Madison could have done this?
No, no chance.
If they had kept him, if they had kept
No.
the core of these players and added the guys he was looking at, because Fernando joined
because
his
they
brother.
wouldn't have been able to add the players. And you have to have the resources, and you have to be battle tested. You can't be battle tested enough in the Sun Belt like you can in the Big Ten.
Okay. How do you think this will affect the power dynamic of Tony Petitti versus Greg Sankey? Because this is now 3 consecutive Big Ten champions, 3 different schools. The SEC, I believe, 3-8 in this tournament in games not against each other over the last 3 years. And the prevailing belief is that Greg Sankey is the most powerful man in college football. Are we even? Where would you put it percentage-wise if you were to say Tony Petitti versus Greg Sankey, who's the king of college football at this point?
I mean, the Big Ten and Tony Petitti are doing their thing. Like you can't deny that. And the idea that anybody would even fix their face to say, is the Big Ten or the SEC better? The Big Ten's a better conference right now. And then you just look at Kyle Whittingham going to Michigan. Look at the Big Ten right now. Indiana's king right now. Ohio State is unbelievable. Their roster. Oregon is phenomenal. Michigan with Whittingham. I forget whether I said that already. USC is pretty good now. Even though I don't think that they can win, they're still pretty good now. Iowa is a tough out. You have Washington. They put together like a top 15 or 20 defense this year. And if they get better on offense, problems. And that's and then you got Pat Fitzgerald going over there to Michigan State. Bob Chesney, another James Madison coach who all he does is win, going over to UCLA. Bro, it is going to be hell. And I feel like I forgot somebody. It is going to be hell to get out of the Big Ten. Hell. And if you get out of the Big Ten, it is going to be you did something significant. Oh, and I forgot Illinois. Oh, and do you know what? And we forgot Penn State. They are plenty talented. And then you add Matt Campbell at head coach. Bro, the Big Ten is going to be light years ahead of the SEC right now. And you got so many people that don't want to admit it, but the truth is the truth.
That's all I got. That's all I got. We got one more comment that I would love for you to address. It's from Rails Pony. He said Miami had the SEC powder puff side of the bracket though, and so that's how we're referring to SEC competition now.
Dang, that's rude. That's rude. It's funny though. The last thing that I want to bring up, Ralph, and I'm gonna put you on with it. Didn't I tell everybody that this was gonna happen? On 3, place I respect. Good people there. They put out their way too early top 25, and they did it again. There are 9 SEC teams in the top 25, and Georgia, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, and LSU. You got 5 SEC teams in the top 12, bro. When will the lesson be learned? 4 Big Ten teams: Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, and did I miss somebody? Oh, and Michigan. 4. Why? Why, Ralph? Why is Florida at 24? Why is Tennessee at 20? What are we doing here?
Looks good on the graphic. The colors, they look nice. This looks a lot like last year's because 4 of the top 9 were SEC going into last year, correct? The actual AP poll,
Yeah.
preseason poll. This is 4 of the top 10. The issue that you had wasn't that it was 4 of the top 9 last year, it's that it was 9 of the top 21, which is not how it's going to shake out here at the end of the year. Florida, I guess that's an auto bid. Penn State, we don't even know. I mean, that's Iowa State. So Iowa State in white is worth 14. This is very, very, very interesting. It definitely creates the opportunity for some debate. I do think it's very fun. We have another hypothetical top 4 finish here for Notre Dame. What stings, George? If you're a Notre Dame person, what stings more? If the team that you wanted to be left out, that you thought you were betrayed for, Miami gets a national championship, or if in-state public school, University of Indiana, if they are the ones who get the natty.
It is Indiana winning. Because if you're Notre Dame, you can justify, like if you're being honest, you can be honest with yourself and say, okay, look, yes, Miami beat us. They should have been in the playoff and they went on to the national championship. Cool. But they lost. Okay, cool. Like you can justify that. But Indiana winning a national championship, Notre Dame fans have never even acknowledged Indiana. Notre Dame beat up Indiana in the playoff last year. They don't care about Indiana. And now guess what? They got to care about Indiana. I would pay money. Do you know that Indiana and Notre Dame need to schedule each other now? That's a short, Ralph. That is a short. Indiana and can you put that down for me? Indiana and Notre Dame have to get on each other's schedule now. And Kurt Cignetti, stop with this BS, that BS schedule that you changed them games for. No. That's another one, Ralph. We're calling them out.
Hey,
now,
all these people,
he got to go schedule people.
It is very true. All these people that say that athletics the front porch for the university, you see these online applications go up a great deal after a team has success. I do want everybody to know that's in the market for a future place to acquire a bachelor's degree, an undergraduate bachelor's degree, especially if you're a resident of the state of Indiana. You can get a 4-year degree from University of Indiana for about $15,000 less than you can get for your freshman year tuition at Notre Dame.
Dude, that's why they have 800,000 living alumni, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Here's another one that we got to address. 16-team playoff. And we'll address this I'll address this more tomorrow in the live. But the idea that we're going to move from 12 teams to 24, Tony Petitti, somebody needs to ball him up and throw him in the trash for that. 24 teams? No. 16 has always been the right answer. No buys. 16 has always been the right answer. Stop playing like 24 teams. What are we going to do? The regular season will mean absolutely nothing. Actually, I'm fine with staying at 12, except for the buys hurt the teams that have the buys. So I would actually be fine with staying at 12 as long as the second round of games, the quarterfinals, is on those teams' campus. 32, Rails Pony. No, sorry. 32? No. You can get punted to the sun with him.
We got a 64 team playoff. Thanks to University of Indiana, we have a 64 team playoff. Because anybody could win it.
Yep. You are right.
Indiana
This is
gave
an
us a 64 team playoff.
see here's what we need to get rid of. Wild card arts entertainment. Oregon will do what they always do, choke in big moments. It must hurt. Miami limping into the playoffs made it further than them, and Indiana got a natty first. Actually, as an Oregon fan, it doesn't bother me actually at all that Miami making it to the championship. Oregon's been to 2 championships before Miami has been in the last 25 years. So no, that doesn't going to the championship. Ooh, it is a significant achievement, but like you didn't win. So you don't get bragging rights for going to the national championship. Like Oregon has lost 2 national championships since the last time Miami has been to one, and now it's 2-1. Who's better? I mean, come on.
You say
um,
none of those 3 things are on a banner?
no, no. Um, no, George did not lose some money tonight. How would I have lost money? I picked Indiana to win. Um, and he said, yeah, that Oregon loses all the big games. I find this interesting, Ralph, and you are an unbiased party to this. How can you say Oregon always loses the big game? Like they played Florida State in the first ever college football playoff, beat the hell out of Florida State, made it to the national championship. Last year, they just won the Big Ten championship. I think that was a big game. The Ohio State game, the first game, was a big game too. So it's like the idea, oh, well, they lost their last game. They always lose the big one. So then every team lost the big one this year except for Indiana, right?
Yeah, it's like saying that only people who fly on planes die in plane crashes. Oregon's in a lot. They're in a lot of big games that they've won some of them, they've lost some of them. Like you get yourself into that situation to have those opportunities.
Yes.
It's kind of the whole point of the sport that
Yes.
we follow.
Saban. Oh God, he's lost a lot of big games. So
And
has
lost a lot of small ones.
yeah, Kirby Smart. Maybe he can't win the big one. Dabo Swinney loses all the big games now. Like, what are we talking about? God, you just are supposed to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. But anyways, though, guys, you guys have been amazing. Great college football season, but the channel is not over. We're not going dormant. We're not like SEC shorts. We don't go dormant. Interviews will start soon. Interviews will start in late February, mid-February. We will be back on the road, hitting up. You guys can always send an email. I'm mad, IMMAD at unafraidshow.com to what coaches that you want interviewed. It will be the same lineup last year for the most part. Plus, we're going to add Marcus Freeman. I'm going to effort Kurt Cignetti, even if I got to show up at his door and be like, hey, come on. Yeah, and a few more. So y'all, I appreciate y'all staying with us this season. And I want you guys to I want to celebrate with you guys because we are at a point where the channel is now so sustainable now. We are at a point where we are at 29,190 subscribers on a live count. Live count. Like I want to show you guys this. Let's look at the channel growth. That way y'all can see what it is. Look at this. 29,191. Let's look at the last 90 days. I want y'all to see what y'all did in the last 90 days. Almost 5,000 subs in the last 90 days. This is why we're one of the fastest growing college football channels. 365 days ago. Almost 10,000 subs, people. 10,000. You guys can't see that. It's too small. Okay. Almost 10,000 subs. Look. Almost 10,000 subs in a year. And it doesn't grow, and the channels don't grow like Like, so it won't be at like 39,000 next year. We'll be up to 50, 100,000. The goal's 100,000 next year. And half Watt said, we didn't do it, you guys did. I mean, sorry, you did. No, no, no. I did not do this all by myself. I gotta thank my man here, Ralph. What you know?
Almost.
Yes, oh, Ralph, because he's been an instrumental person, but behind the scenes as well. I couldn't do it without him. And you guys, please continue to share the show. And I know it's the off season. Continue to show up. We will continue to put out very good content and stuff that you guys will love. More food content this year, so y'all know where to go when y'all get out to games and everything. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And anything you want to say to wrap up this season, Ralph?
Hey, I would love to take some time to be grateful, but I do want to remember, or I do want to remind people that you know your stuff, and you come here to find out what the game is going to be like. Maybe we don't get every prediction right, but the analysis is there, the ball knowledge is there, the experience is there, and I want to remind everybody, George, who did you say the X factor for Indiana would be heading into the college football playoff?
Oh, geez. I
I
forgot.
remember it clear as day, Mr. Charlie Becker,
Oh,
who
yes.
in the
Yes.
course of 1 month
Yep.
went from somebody who was having a pretty good stretch of games to an absolute college football superstar. So it's that type of stuff that I say you should keep it locked to Unafraid Show. Keep it locked to the George Wrighster College Football Podcast.
Oh, peep peep this, Ralph. I don't want people to forget this. I hope it's still here because I had my preseason ranking. My preseason. Oh, is this it? No, that's not it. Hold up. God dang it. It might be gone, Ralph. Oh, hold up. Here's the one from September. Hold up. Let me put it. Oh, god dang it. Oh, damn it. I dropped it off. Oh well. Oh well. All right. Well, Ralph, it to make a long story short, it wasn't good. I had Clemson winning. But y'all, we will catch y'all later. Peace out.
You had ACC versus Big Ten, so you're half right.